Hello and welcome everybody to the Wool Player Weekly Q&A webinar call. We're going to get started here in just one moment, but before we do, if anybody who's on the call could confirm that both audio and video connection are functioning as expected before we get started, and then we can dive right into it. Thank you. All right, we're getting some confirmations from Dean, William. Hello to Stephen as well from San Francisco. Audio and video are functioning, so we can proceed. Once again, this is Wool Player's weekly Q&A webinar call, where we, as the name indicates, aim to answer any questions you as users may have, also to discuss any advanced use cases of video in your business, and with that, maybe highlight some of the Wool Player's capabilities that will help you leverage that additional value to get the most out of your videos. Also to showcase new stuff that we've been working on to continue adding to that value previously mentioned, and primarily just to, as mentioned, to just share ideas about how you're using videos, how you're using Wool Player, how we can improve Wool Player, how we can add more value to you guys and to your videos. So with that in mind, the format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. So at any time do you have a question, or if you came prepared with any question, using the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen, you can just drop them in and we can start answering them in the order that they come in. That way we won't dive deep into something, and we can answer everything that ahead of time that's been posted as a question. So if you have any questions, just feel free to type them out right now. Also, this is a weekly webinar, and replays, if you're not able to make it to one of them, are available on our YouTube channel, link to which is in the chat box, as well as on our Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/woolplayer, link to which is also in the chat box. So if you haven't subscribed to their channel or joined that group, I do encourage you to do so, as that will help you stay updated with everything latest and the latest releases that and latest additions that we are including in Wool Player. One more resource that I would like to highlight is our Knowledgebase, docs.woolplayer.com. I'll share that as well, and primarily in it noting the getting started section, which is particularly good if you're just getting started with Wool Player. It outlines how you can create your first video, upload it, add a link from an existing hosting provider, how you can add features and use it in different modules, and publish all of that on your platform sites or what have you. So that's particularly a good resource. Just the entire knowledge base has everything Wool Player related inside of it. One more thing to note is, so if at any time you have one of those ideas that you would like to share with us, or are interested in what's going on with Wool Player, let me just refresh because I'm on the staging server. It would appear right now. I'm just switching over to production really quickly. All right, cool. So if at any time you have a question which you would like to have answered, or you want to share an idea and see what other people have submitted as ideas, and maybe you get some ideas from that, you can click over there on documentation and support and click on submit and vote on ideas, which will take you to our product portal, where you can see ideas which are currently being worked on, stuff that's under consideration. So all of these are ideas submitted by your fellow Wool Player users, and others are voting on them, and that's how we really validate those ideas and gain momentum on them, and how we work on them, and how we prioritize them. And additionally, you can see stuff that's been recently launched, as well as mentioned primarily in the top right corner, you can submit a new idea, and there you can indicate what your idea is, or what your feedback is, and how important it is to you, and that way we can prioritize it. Additionally, if at any time during the webinar you have a question, and you can't wait until the next webinar to have it answered, we remain available via our support channel. So you can just click on this little chat widget in the bottom right corner and just initiate a new conversation, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Maybe we can even discuss those ideas in real time. Additionally, you can, if you want to submit a detailed report of an issue, you can click on contact support in there. Select what type of, is it a billing issue, is it whatever have you, and then that will guide you through a more direct process. But if you just want to bounce idea off of somebody and quickly discuss and troubleshoot issues, the right place to do that would be over here in the live chat widget. Excellent. All right, do have a quick announcement that on a new release, and let me just see if I can maybe get a demo of this. I'm just we just released this today. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm right on the production server. So I'll come over here to a new video, and I want to create a video using a YouTube link. And as Dean has mentioned, if he's not mistaken, you have not uploaded the last couple of webinars to Facebook group and YouTube. Will you be? We definitely will be. I'll make sure that I ping the person responsible for doing that. All right, so I'll come over here to create a video by URL. No, not the channel. Why did I not grab the right link? I don't know what happened there. So one of the things that's problematic, or that has been problematic with, let me just pause this so the audio is not playing in my headset. One of the issues that's been problematic with YouTube videos is that when they're streamed through VooPlayer, they are playing at a lower than highest resolution and quality. So that if you have screencasts, so for example, this is a recording of the webinar, so let me just try and find something interesting in here. So here, if we're watching this, and if it's not streamed through, so this is at 720, but if VooPlayer streams it through like 360 maybe, you would have issues like this where you wouldn't be able to read everything that the text on the screen says, and in presentations that can be pretty bothersome. So we've made some changes to how we're getting videos from YouTube, and I actually think that I have that video created somewhere. Where do I have it? So let me just pause because I can't hear myself. I am hearing myself on this webinar as well. So let me just call this YouTube resolution test, and I'll save and continue with that. So it's going to create a new video. So the first thing that we've changed is that we are now automatically always fetching the highest resolution possible for a video. So if that video has an available resolution of 1080 or 4K, we'll be trying to get that resolution first. So that's the first change. And the second change is that for those, dear God, I can't help stopping to stop that webinar. The second change is that for those videos, we're now also going to be able to fetch additional resolutions. So let me just grab a link of this, because I think this is one of the videos. This is that same webinar video hosted from YouTube, testing YouTube resolutions. So here we have that video loaded, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that exact same spot, but here, for example, you can see pretty good resolution of text. So several webinars. So this is the recording of this webinar from January. But we're now also able to include additional resolutions from YouTube, so 720, 240, 360, and so on. So if I switch to a slightly lower resolution, you can see how that text is blurred out. So if I switch back to the highest resolution for that YouTube video and play it again, you can see that the text is now fully clear. So that's the enhancement that we made. First, that we're loading the highest resolution for YouTube videos, and the second that we're going to be adding, where possible, additional resolution as a selection for the viewer to be able to either fasten their streaming by lowering quality or heighten the quality by lowering the bandwidth or requiring higher bandwidth. All right, cool. That's the update I wanted to go through. So Rick is asking we can go to questions now. So Rick is saying, is Voo Player affiliated with Swarmfly? I can say that we are not, because I don't even know what Swarmfly is, but I'll take a quick look at it. Swarmfly. I'm interested why you would make that Swarmfly. Is that right? Do they have a site? I can see their video on. I can see their site on Fandom. The Swarmfly was a ship. That's definitely not it. Is it Swarmfly? Swarmify. Sorry. Swarmify. I read that I as an L. Swarmify, unlimited video CDN and hosting. Slow video is costing you customers, make more sales, reduce bounce rates, and keep visitors focused on your brand. The world's fastest video hosting ensures instant start and buffer-proof playback, unlimited bandwidth, encoding, and storage. Features, video player, video encoding partners. We are in no way affiliated with Swarmify. I don't know why you would bring up that question. Swarmify is on AppSumo currently. Oh, all right. Yeah, we have no affiliation with them. I'm not sure why Rick, you would make an assumption that we have any association. All right. Dean, that was a question regarding the webinar update, so I'll be sure to rectify that. Rick is asking, does enterprise customer gets priority over lower plan when processing videos? Yes, definitely. So the conversion process itself is I don't want to say tiered, but I would say layered in such a way that especially for any resolutions which are being created or any processing in the queues which happen, the subscription paying customers are definitely given advantage in those queues over lifetime licenses and free accounts. So hopefully that answers that question. Dean is saying thanks for the update regarding YouTube, assuming. Nabi is saying good morning from Australia, where it's 4 a.m. and why I usually miss out on watching and training. I have a couple of questions. I'm not sure if it's best to ask here or in a separate email. Nabi, if you feel that the questions that you have, others can contribute from them as well, then the webinar is the right forum to answer them. However, if your questions are more of a technical nature, or you think they're like bugs with the player, something like when I embed Voo Player on my site, the play button icon is pointing towards the left rather than the right, and I have this weird offset and the margin's not right or something like that. If it's those types of issues, or my video when it's uploading or when it's playing back, it's having streaming issues and stuff like that, those are the types of questions which we aim to defer to support, primarily because answering and considering them would require us debugging in real time all over the webinar, which is something that I don't think anybody else will enjoy necessarily watching, nor would you, nor would I enjoy doing that. So if you have sort of general questions about Wool Player or video, or your use cases of video in your business, those are really the types of things that we aim to answer over here. Rick, similarity, location and website design. What's location? What kind of location? What is location? What is location? Try a WordPress plugin, YouTube alternative, how it works, demo, pricing. All right, that's what I was curious about. All plans include smart videos, core features, modern professional grade player, instant start, blah, 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 satisfaction guaranteeing, unlimited everything. All right, what's the pricing? Learn more. Gary, small business, annual plan, and so on, FAQ. Is a video acceleration company focused on bringing the streaming technologies used by the biggest streaming, blah, 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 Netflix, Hulu. All right, all of that makes sense. I'm not seeing that many similarities. Maybe the header is similar to what we're doing, and that's maybe something that they could have gotten from us. I think this weird shaped backgrounds on the sections is something that's also from our site. So stuff like that is maybe they've borrowed some design elements from us, but we certainly have no association. Nabi is saying, nah, simple questions. Can I host my videos on Wool Player and do away with Vimeo? Yeah, so with Vimeo users, we have a couple of options. So if you're currently on Vimeo, Nabi, so here's, let me just go to the knowledge base really quickly. So Vimeo. So migrating Vimeo videos to Wool Player is something that you would definitely want to look at. So one of the issues that we're usually hearing about people who are using Vimeo is that their pricing structures are really unbearable. So that's why we've kind of made this option where you can, provided that you are, I think, on Vimeo Pro or something, for Vimeo Pro and Business and Premium, Wool Player will be able to access all of your files. Yeah, so if you're on those, you can include migration via the API from Vimeo, and that will transfer all of your videos to Wool Player servers, and at that point, you can basically cancel your Vimeo account. However, some people still, even though they're using Wool Player, prefer to keep their videos on Vimeo for, I'll be honest, they have better streaming service, better content delivery, and that's about it. So you can keep your videos on Vimeo, and we can stream it from there as well. So that's an option as well. If you're really interested about this and want to get into that more, you can definitely hit us up at support@woolplayer. Another question was, will clickable links work on sites such as LinkedIn or Facebook? So assuming you're referring to Wool Player clickable links, what we're calling calls to actions or hotspots links that you can have in videos, no, those will not work on LinkedIn and Facebook. And the primary reason for that is that the video itself will not work on LinkedIn or Facebook. So to the best of my knowledge, and somebody can correct me, the latest information that I have is that on LinkedIn, you can play any video which is not played through a LinkedIn player, and on Facebook you can play any video which is not played through the Facebook player. I think YouTube videos no longer work inside of Facebook. So basically, on any social network, you need to have a video playing within there. I think Twitter is an exception to that. Wherever you can play different video players, other than that social networks player, you're going to be able to play a WooPlayer video, and wherever you're able to play a WooPlayer video, you're going to be able to use all of its features, of course. And in addition to that, I would say, so how we usually solve that and treat this is we make it easy so that when you're sharing a link to your WooPlayer video, if you don't have a page on which you embedded it and so on, and you want to take customers to your site to watch the video, we've prepared a video watch page for you, so you can share that link, and that will pop in a nice thumbnail and info about the video when somebody sees that post on social media. All Vimeo contents can be jacked. That's a good point. So if William brings up a good point in that, and I'll have to stress this, is that if content security is really important to you, I don't think I've seen anybody still beat WooPlayer in how severely we can protect your content and encrypt it against downloading using our mutating algorithm HLS encryption. Nobody has since been able to crack it. So with sites like YouTube and Vimeo and Facebook and stuff like that, if you're hosting your videos there, they're basically a free-for-all. Anybody can download them, edit them, and do whatever they want with them. But if your videos are uploaded to WooPlayer, that way they're protected and your content is secured. However, even if you migrate your videos over to WooPlayer from Vimeo, or you import them from Facebook or Dropbox or whatever, they are not content protected. Only the videos which are uploaded to WooPlayer, not migrated to WooPlayer. When you're migrating videos from Vimeo or from Wistia or what have you, those videos are just copied over. But when you're uploading them to WooPlayer, they're going through the encryption process, and that's what makes them secure. Nabi is saying, okay, so I just have the video on a site and link to that. Yeah, exactly. You can do that. That's the best approach, I think, especially if you want those viewers to take a particular action which is associated with your site, like sign up or buy from us or stuff like that. That's usually a good flow. You have a post that takes them to your site, they watch the video, and they can take actions directly. So for example, if you have a, what did you call it, a link, a text link within your video, they land on a landing page, they watch the video, up pops up some sort of a call out, they click on it, they go on the next page in your funnel, and you've kicked off the flow there. So that works pretty well. All right, cool. Do we have any other questions? I'll give it a minute before we call it a night or a day or a morning for some of you. It seems like that's all the questions we have. What about more bandwidth for enterprise? More bandwidth is always available and can be purchased. Enterprise licenses have the highest consumption rates both on storage and bandwidth, but you can always purchase more bandwidth using turbo bandwidth at I keep forgetting these prices, but you can, for example, purchase a terabyte of bandwidth for $120 or 100 gigabytes for $20. So those are pretty okay prices for such bandwidth costs. So let me just send over this link. Rick, you can take a look at that. More storage as well. You can purchase more storage. All right, cool. Hello to Antal, very clear. Thanks. Glad you enjoyed it. Nabi, been a pleasure to answer your questions. Thank you, everybody who took the time to join this week and help us make Wool Player better. Hopefully, we'll see you next week as well. Goodbye.